Well, you know, there's sometimes as a photographer that you are just blessed with absolutely perfect conditions where you cannot take a bad photo. I would say we're in those conditions right about now. Wow. Wow. That is special. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is Bradley, and what more can I say? That pretty much is all you need to see. We are in absolutely heaven-like conditions here at Carver's Gap. Any channel OGs will remember that I did a video here in 2020 hiking in September, and this is my first time being here in summer. It's a lovely June evening. We just had huge thunderstorms. Like, I was stuck in the car for a while. Blue sky right there. Still sitting in the car, eating some peanuts. I have a feeling though that all this patience and waiting is going to be well worth it. And I was really debating driving home, but I'm so glad that I stuck it out because the reward is absolutely magnificent. So yes, what is so special about this place? The rhododendron flowers that bloom here every middle to late June, I would say. I missed it last year, and you know, I was very determined to come out here and get some great pictures of it, and just feeling very blessed to have these pretty much perfect conditions here. Can't wait for that sun to get a little bit lower in the sky just to light up with even more colors. Super giddy. I've not felt this excited to get pictures in a long time. I don't know if you can tell. So yes, I've made it actually a personal mission of mine to get pictures that I'm very happy with every single time I go out and try and get pictures this year. So that was a goal that I set for myself, and I would recommend other photographers do it as well, because you know, you're not always going to have perfect conditions. You know, maybe you don't have access to a wide variety of locations, but that should not stop your creativity and should not stop you from getting pictures that you actually really enjoy. You know, maybe try out a different lens, try the same location, different lens, maybe a different time of day, maybe at night or something like that, different weather conditions. There's many different things that you can do to get creative and really find some amazing shots in familiar locations that maybe you shoot at all the time. So that's my goal this year, and it's kind of in those conditions right now where it's almost impossible to take a bad picture. I've got my 9mm from Laowa. You've seen me feature this in a few videos before on this channel. I call this my Epic Sky lens because it really does fit everything into the frame. Like, 9mm full frame is insanely wide, and when that storm was blowing through and we had a double rainbow just a little while ago, and it was just amazing to see how much of the sky, how much of the colors and the flowers and just the whole scene I was able to capture in one single exposure. So, that's enough of me yammering on. Let's go take a look at what we got here. The sun should be setting pretty soon right back there, as you can see. That should be pretty nice, and it is absolutely great. I'm having a great day. Conditions do not get much better than that. So I got my 9mm from Laowa right here. I call this the Epic Sky lens for, well, conditions basically just like this, when the sky looks absolutely insanely beautiful. Gonna try and get some interesting shots here going vertical with a relatively high shutter speed, and gonna try and get everything in. Cool thing about this lens is it doesn't really distort the edges too much. I'm doing a bracketed exposure, trying to get all the highlights and shadow detail that I can. I'm going to stack them later in Photoshop. Hello. Couldn't ask for better conditions today, right? This is insanely beautiful. This is one of my favorite wide-angle shots from the entire trip. It is a 3-shot exposure blend, and I feel like shooting this one really wide at 9mm helped me to get as much of these rhododendrons in the frame as possible. All in all, really happy with the way this one came out. I love the contrast, the golden light just flowing over this scene beautifully. It's one of my favorite pictures. Got some nice rocks here. This could be potential foreground opportunity, maybe, with the rhododendrons right there. Yeah, I like that. This rock stack was practically glowing with the evening sun. I tried to line them up in a way where the viewer's eye would be guided through the rocks and into the background where the rainbow was just sitting over the valley with all these peaceful looking mountains. And the conditions only got better from there. Well, I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. To my left, I have these beautiful ridge lines creating these amazing shadows, but I turn to my right and I have this amazing rainbow with this epic looking sky. Quite a dilemma to have, if I do say so myself. These gotta be some of the best conditions I have shot in all year so far. This is a real special treat. Wow. I decided to wander a little bit off trail, and I ran across this singular tree sitting in the middle of a field. Thought that would make a pretty interesting subject matter. So I pulled out my ultra wide angle lens and I grabbed this picture. Now I wanted to try something a little bit different in the post-processing with this one. I went for that heavy HDR look, adding a lot of clarity and dehaze on the sliders. Not sure if I'm a huge fan of it, but it's always fun to experiment with new things, especially when it comes to post-processing. That has got to be one of the best sunsets of the year. Look at that. Look at the colors coming out at it. It's incredible. Looks like these might be good for some foreground here. Not too many flowers up this high. Beautiful. Some orange ones here. Look at that. Beautiful. Trying to get really close here and do maybe a focus stack. Just trying to find a good point. I think I like that one right there. The sky. And I'm going to put this in focus down here. Try and keep it as steady as possible. Yeah, that sunset, guys, is something beautiful. All right, well, that was a very productive evening of photography there. The sun just went down, as you can see. Pretty much got the whole place to myself here. I'm gonna head back down and see what we can get in the morning. But before I made the hike back down, I decided to hang up there just a little bit longer and just soak up the moment. I pulled my camera back out and got some moody blue hour photography images of the wild grasses here with these lone pine trees. I went for more of a muted color scheme on the final edit. We had some dark gray clouds rolling over the mountains there, and I really wanted to kind of capture the moody essence and the breeziness and the motion that was in these images here. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Carver's Gap. And those conditions yesterday were just something else. I can't believe that we were treated to a double rainbow, a huge storm, and just everything in between. It was quite a memorable night. And you know, that got me thinking. I was reviewing some of my pictures last night, and I noticed that a lot of details were missing. I was out of focus on several times using manual focus lenses, and you know, lots of smudges, and all of these other things like imperfections that I normally don't have an issue avoiding, but it seems like whenever I get those perfect conditions, I just seem to kind of go crazy, like scatterbrained, you know. I'm just wanting to get as many pictures as I can, kind of like a kid in a candy store. You know, I think it was a big lesson in patience. Taking your time as a photographer can be important. Sure, you don't want to miss a shot, you don't want to miss the moment, but also having everything lined up, having it be purposeful and thoughtful. That's something I'm looking to implement next time I get just amazing conditions. It's just to slow down, breathe, really be thoughtful and purposeful, and figure out exactly what composition I want to have and make sure everything is in focus, have the right settings and all that. So yes, right here we have some beautiful rhododendrons lined up here. Full moon last night was quite beautiful with the stars as well. And the birds are out in the forest. A little breezy this morning, so I'm going to be using a bit of a higher shutter speed if I can, just to avoid any kind of motion blur with these rhododendron flowers that might be moving around in the breeze. And here's that photo. I kept the post-processing pretty minimal here. I wanted to maintain that natural look as much as possible. I shot this using a 15mm wide-angle lens, and mainly just focusing on the leading lines in this composition. I'm a sucker for a great path. Sunrise should be coming up here pretty soon. I gotta head out pretty soon after that, but I'm looking to get a few nice shots before that. I have my telephoto lens in my backpack. Love all these flowers behind me, looking great. Alright, so I'm back at this location, which I took this picture at yesterday, but I was using my 9mm from Laowa, which was admittedly maybe a little bit too wide for the scene, so I'm back with my 15mm this time. I think it's a little more of a comfortable focal length, and there's different colors, lighter pink here, there's some beautiful darker pinks over there. So I'm going to do this one handheld. I can't really exactly fit my tripod here, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to boost the ISO up to around 400 just so I can get a little bit faster of a shutter speed. And I'm shooting at f5.6 now. I think this is a textbook example of how the same scene can be dramatically affected by different lighting conditions. If you ask me, I much prefer the original photo during golden hour. I think it fits this scene much better than this soft light does in the morning time. It did make the post-processing a bit of a challenge. Trying to save the shadows while maintaining a good level of contrast proved to be pretty difficult. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this morning image as well. I only had a few minutes left before I had to hit the road, and as it often does in landscape photography, the best conditions seem to come out when you least expect them. The sky really started to pop, and I really wanted to get one last image of these rhododendrons before I left. The level of detail on this Laowa 15mm lens is incredible. I was able to get all the little dew droplets on these leaf petals here, and the color straight out of camera is incredible. It's deep, it's rich, it's vibrant. I really didn't need to touch this one up too much in post. The colors just looked that good. Very happy with the pictures that I got. It's hard to take bad pictures when you get conditions like I got last night and with a nice sunrise this morning. If you enjoyed this content, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to upload more videos this year than I ever have before, so please join me in that journey. So I'll see you guys next time. See you later.